Welcome back to video number 2. This is going to cover day 2 of this tour in Nigeria. It just gets worse and worse. Let's jump in and cover it, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off with a video just to show you what I was talking about with them leaving and nobody waving or looking happy. Because as you can see, that's pretty much what's going on here. The kids were just like, whatever. All right, next up. Look at this absolutely gorgeous photo of Princess Diana meeting a wounded person. Now, what do you see? You see medical equipment. You see wristbands, because if you're in a hospital, you have to have identifying information. Well, all of a sudden, these pictures came out of Harry. This is absolutely staged, in my opinion. There's no drips. There's no blood pressure monitors. There's no medical equipment of any kind. There's no wristbands on any of these people. They're all in pristine, clean blue scrubs. These pictures remind me he is Diana's son because she learned how to manipulate the media for photo ops, and that's basically what Harry's doing. For me, the one picture that really took the cake was this one. The guy is wearing a regular shirt underneath the pajamas. Do you guys see that? Staged. And then, of course, Meeson Harriman puts out these pictures because this is what it's really about. It's about getting staged photos. By the way, Netflix cameras were there as well. You should know on camera, Harry told this guy that he should name his artificial leg. All right. Anyway, as you can see, the Netflix cameras were there at everything that they went to. The cameras, the booms were overhead. This was all completely staged. Now, if you're there because you're supposed to be there for Invictus or you're there on behalf of whatever, why do you need all of these cameras following you? And then it came out that, when Harry went to see that prime minister, one of his staff members shoved one of the soldiers and some of the dignitaries, and there was a big affront about it. And I thought, really? Did that really happen? So I went back to take a look at the video. Yeah, it did. Here you go. Here she comes walking from the left. Yeah, she's pushing soldiers and people out of the way. Now, something else came out from yesterday. We know Meghan usually merches what she's wearing. Well, Remoulade sauce, that's my go-to person for everything that everybody is wearing. Well, as you can see, when they identified what Meghan was wearing, it could only be purchased in ivory or black, and it was $671 US. However, he found that you could find the dress in Meghan's color from 2018. Okay, so suddenly it's on sale again in the color Meghan was wearing, but at twice the price. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The entire thing was merching. So when it shows the newly listed dresses sold out, it was listed as sold out, but they'll be taking pre-orders within 48 hours. So once again, she's merching the clothes that she's wearing. Everything is very calculated and set up. Really? Okay, so now we're on to day 2, and the media is really trying to spin it. They're having Meghan mania in Nigeria. Sorry, I don't see that. But the one thing they did say is that this is a royal tour, all but in name. And it's supposed to be Harry's Invictus game project. And this is the first time we've heard anything about Invictus, and we're up to day 2. Now, this was an outdoor volleyball match at the Officers Mess Club. It was their first official engagement on Saturday. And you know what's so funny? They actually said that the Sussex squad was out in force as they cheered the Duke and Duchess on their arrival just before midday. So there you go. Harry and Meghan are very much aware of the Sussex squad. And the fact that they throw death threats at people and threaten to call their jobs, etc. By the way, they also posted this picture. This is apparently the security that Harry and Meghan are getting. All right, let's move on. The Sussex squad surrounded her at one point, and this is where she was in her element. Look at this. She actually jumps. Oh, I'm so excited. And yet, at the same time as these people surround her, one of her aides has her hand on Meghan's back and is literally shooing people away from her. Get away from her. Do not touch her. Back up. I'm not kidding. These women get too close. Meghan gets uncomfortable and has her aide pushing them away from her. Don't touch her. Back up. Back up. Make room. Make room. Exactly. When Catherine and William have been on tour and they've been surrounded by people, you've never seen that kind of behavior. Now, they were there for a seeded volleyball game. Nigeria, which was the unconquered team during the game, ended up losing 21-25 to the Chief of Defense Staff squad, with all of the players being wounded military personnel. Now, as you can see, she put this, I forgot what you call this thing that goes around your neck that shows that you cheer for the team. She had it on just long enough to take a picture, and then she took it off, and that was it, because after all, it was blocking her outfit, which obviously she was merching. Once again, I'm not crazy about this outfit. The cut on the front is too low. I don't know what happened to her breasts. They seem to be completely missing. She's showing a lot of thigh. This is, once again, this is a Muslim country, mostly Muslim, where modesty is the name of the game. But for some reason, she's intent on showing everybody all her goods. I don't know what that is about. For those of you who don't recognize it, that's the exact same dress she wore in New York at the car chase, but without, she had the straps removed. So at some point, and I'm not sure when exactly it was, Harry went and got into the game. Now, this is where things get interesting. As usual, Harry at one point acted very inappropriately. Let me show you. Here's the video. They're playing. The guy in front of Harry raises his hand, and what does Harry do? Watch this. He leans over and squeezes the guy's nipples. Where have we seen this kind of behavior before? I've told you guys numerous times before that I think Harry might be bisexual. He seems to really like men as much as he likes women. The pictures through the years are a little scary to watch. Sorry, that's my thought process. Now, in the article, it says that Harry kept casting an eye at Meghan because he was concerned, and he also was looking at their U.S. and American security team because they're trying to keep control, because the crowd was just so crazy for Meghan that it got a little, scary for her. I mean, I don't get it. Now, what I'm going to say is one of the people said, oh, her features say it all. The whole country melted when she said it. She's our daughter, and we couldn't be happier. Okay, with that, I'm going to say again that I'm a little shocked that Nigeria, before they invited them here or there and rolled out the red carpet, that they have yet to ask for a confirmatory DNA test. Can you imagine how this is going to go down if somehow somebody gets a bit of her hair and they run a test and it turns out this is a lie? Now, I have to say, when I look at this picture, what I think is that the guy is putting that thing around her neck saying, we favor modesty here. Like literally this, oh man, like the clothing of her is so tone deaf. And then of course, as soon as they had the pictures with it on, she ripped it off because it was affecting her outfit. Now, for those of you who are worried that Netflix wasn't getting their shots for this, don't you worry. The cameras were there and they were getting all the necessary pictures. At the end of this particular event, this little girl was pushed by her mother forward to hand Meghan some flowers, and Meghan took a rose and gave it back to the girl and then tried to take a picture with her. Look at this girl. Okay, children know. That's all I have to say. Maybe the little girl was spooked by Meghans Harriman over her right shoulder. Look at that guy. He's like creeping around behind them. And a thank you to Remoulade Sauce, as usual, for showing us what Meghan was wearing. Now, in talking earlier about Harry and Meghan's security, you should know that this country is giving them top security, which means the army, the military. They don't have like private security like the United States has. You know what I'm saying? Like the Department of Homeland Security. No, they're being carted around by tanks and men with huge guns. Now, they did bring their own security with them, which they pay for, and you can see them in the pictures, but the country totally rolled out what they had to try to protect Harry and Meghan, because let's face it, nobody wants anything bad happening on their watch. Imagine how bad that would go down. With the morning events over, it was time for the afternoon event. Notice the headline. They're calling it a royal tour. There you go. So she went and changed into a full-length white dress for lunch with the Nigerian defense minister. Couple of things. First of all, you'll see she's wearing her blood diamond pinky ring, even though she's trying to cover it up. She has her hair in a rat's tail. And once again, the other dinner guests, as you're about to see, are in these beautiful, colorful outfits. And Meghan, remember, who hated beige and was forced to wear beige and white and black and these tones by the royal family, is once again in a white dress. And just as an FYI, her breasts have reappeared. Now, they went into this lunch. This was very interesting. Remember, this country has so many people living in abject poverty that and of course, Harry and Meghan haven't addressed that. They haven't done anything. So they go into this lunch, and here is a little of what happened. And the guests there were able to choose from 5 different menu items. That's how much they put on there. There was a special fried rice. There was another rice. There was a fish fillet sauce. There was all kinds of other things. So if you didn't want to try some of the typical Nigerian food, you could get spaghetti bolognese or grilled chicken. Oh, remember, Meghan has a great bolognese sauce. Maybe she handed a recipe over. I have to be honest and tell you, I think a lot of people there were not really impressed with them. All right, moving on, there was a dance troupe, there was music and rhythmic drumming, and there was a big poster they put up on the stage, which they're saying the picture on it was not the best choice because it had Harry and Meghan on it, and Meghan was looking really stern in the picture. I would have liked to have seen that. Now, there was this woman who gave a welcome to Meghan, and she got her title wrong right off the bat. She's Princess Meghan. Yeah, no. We want to thank you for coming home, and Prince Harry, thank you for bringing her home. You have married a sister of ours, and we hope you can come again and again and again. Now, they're saying that while Meghan is a princess, she's not entitled to call herself Princess Meghan because she married into the family. She wasn't born into the family. She doesn't have the title. What she has is the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Very interestingly, neither one of them ate any of the food. That's right, all that food, and they didn't eat it. Well, maybe they were worried about being poisoned. Now, during the lunch, Harry was handed several gifts. He got like a green shirt, and Meghan got like this orange beaded necklace, which you guys know she'll never wear again. Thank you to Remoulade Sauce for showing us what she was wearing. And public opinion so far on this trip is not good in Nigeria itself. The Nigerian Twitter people are putting up plenty of comments, and what they're putting up is not good. This tour is not turning out at all the way I think Harry and Meghan thought it was going to turn out. They're not getting the full-on royal treatment. And of course, when asked about that, when people are saying, why aren't they getting the royal treatment? Why isn't more media covering this? What's going on? Their response is, well, they're there as a private visit. That's really not what's going on. I think you all know that. They went and asked people in the street, look at this guy. He said, if Prince Harry visits Nigeria today or tomorrow, what effect does it have on our economy? He said, Harry's coming and Nigeria is going to spend billions. Look, Nigerians are dying. Everybody is frustrated over economic hardships. Prince Harry is coming all the way from Britain to visit Nigeria. Let me tell you, if you seek my own opinion and other people's opinions, in fact, conduct an opinion poll. It's a waste of resources. Now, he's not the only one who had not the best opinion. Here's somebody else. This gentleman flat out said, for me, it's just not a welcome idea. And that's the truth. He said, whether the wife claims that she's part of Nigeria or not, it's not a welcome idea. Because Nigeria is not a safe place, so I don't really see any big deal about his coming, meaning Harry, of course. The truth is, let me tell you, there's hunger in the land. So him coming, we're not even going to feel its impact. That seems to be the general consensus of most people there. You know, Harry and Meghan are still using their titles and clinging to the royal family, and everybody knows it. I mean, it's starting to get a little pathetic, in my personal opinion. Now, I can't play the music due to copyright infringement, but Megan's dancing again, just like she did last time. And by the way, do you guys remember I told you that one of the things they said was the picture up on the dance floor of Harry and Meghan, they chose a bad picture of Meghan because she looked really stern in it? Well, there it is. Now you can see the picture they chose. I have to agree, bad picture. So they're calling it a glam moment for Meghan, but I gotta be honest, in almost every single picture like this one, Harry just looks flat out bored. All right, when that ended, it was time for Meghan to move on to her next event of the day. So Meghan met with the Director General of the World Trade Organization in a discussion. There were about 50 leading women from various sectors of Nigerian society that were there. So here's what happened when they initially called her up to the stage.
I'd like to invite you, our wonderful DG, the first woman to manage and run the World Trade Organization, and to the amazing, inspiring Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, to join us.
Now, she got called up to the stage. She got her very first question. And what did Meghan do? She immediately started with the word salad. Listen to this.
And what representation might mean to be a Nigerian?
Well, firstly, thank you all so much for being here. I'm just flattered and honored and inspired. It has been a whirlwind 24 hours since we arrived, and I've very quickly gotten the memo that I need to wear more color so I can fit in with all of you in your incredible fashion.
Now, Meghan started talking again about representation. Remember, she said that during the Oprah show. I know how important, growing up as a child of color, how much representation matters. So in her typical word salad, she said, representation matters. You need to see it to believe it. That starts when you're young. And I find that whatever travels I've done, no matter where I go, women reach the peak of success and then they leave. But you need to come back home. You need to be a familiar face for the next generation to say, she looks like me and I can be that. Yeah, there you go. And then, of course, the woman goes, I hate to interrupt, but you did come back home. And she goes, I hope I can do that with justice. You know, the role model, I think so many will. So she's basically, what this comes down to is she's elevated herself to that of a role model. I hope I'm deserving of it. And once again, she has not provided any proof of this genealogy. And I am shocked that Nigeria has not required it or wanted to see it to prove, her claims. The other thing I want to point out is that once again, Meghan is ill-dressed in what looks like a red slip in a very modest country. I don't know who chooses her clothing. And a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce, as usual, for showing us everything that she was wearing during day 2 and during this trip. All right, you guys, that is the end of day 2 and video 2. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button to help me with my algorithm, and follow me over to video number 3. Let's go.